So you've gotten your portfolio ready, you've maybe gone through a few free but not undervalued projects, and you've got a couple game jams under your belt now. Now you feel like you're ready to look for the gig of your dreams, but seemingly they aren't anywhere. You look all over and you see your friends working on cool stuff, and you want to work on cool stuff too, but you can't seem to find the opportunity. Well, my friends, as I said in my very first video here, the secret is networking and keeping that network alive. But if you're anything like me, the thought of actually going out to meet people, or online like you should be right now, makes you cower in fear, find other things to work on, or watch random YouTube videos to calm your racing mind. So, both of us need to stop that behavior and get into a better mindset, because really, networking will never go away. Let's cover just a few strategies to network not harder, but smarter. So you're at the event. Whether it be online or in person, try to find conversations where it would be easy for you to interject. There are actually a surprising amount of people who don't even talk about work-related things at these events. And among gaming people, it's surprisingly easy to find things where you have mutual interests. The neat thing about it though is that most people have no issue with you walking up and saying something such as, "Hey, I heard you guys talking about the new Nintendo Direct the other day. I'm a big Nintendo fan too. Mind if I join in?" This right here takes all of the pressure off of work, establishes common interest, and gives you an immediate conversation point. Most people in my experience greatly welcome this because not only does their own network grow, but because most of them are in the exact same position as you. Feeling awkward about joining conversations? You'll notice that most of the time people might like to exchange business cards at each other on Facebook or Twitter after these type of conversations. If no one instigates this, definitely feel free to. It's not out of place, especially if your conversation was poppin'. Now, I get it. This is exhausting, especially if you aren't used to it. So step 2 here, and this is really important. If you're exhausted after this one encounter, stop. Go home. Count this as a success and get your brain in the mindset that, yes, I succeeded and I can do this. Do not give your brain a chance to feel any failure. Reinforce the idea that, yes, you networked effectively. And then the third step to this is the morning after, reach out to the people that you met. It doesn't matter how. Many people will probably tell you that email is the best way, but to me, it doesn't really make a difference. I personally like Facebook a lot just because it feels a little bit more personal to me than email or Twitter, but truthfully, it really doesn't make a difference. The whole point of reaching out here is so that they know that you enjoyed your time with them. You'll meet a lot of people, and honestly, in a way, reaching out like this is almost like taking notes. You'll remember more about them, reinforce your friendship, and make it easier to talk to them the next time. I can't even count the number of times now where I remembered someone's name just because I reached out to them, and it's been like a year, and they're like, how is your memory that good? And we've kept up a conversation for a long time over a period of months because of that. So the next time that you do meet them, they'll probably introduce you to more people, and you might introduce them to someone else. Now you two are giving each other value through your network. If they don't happen to give you contact information and the reason is that it just doesn't come up in conversation, I personally say it's okay to look them up on Facebook or Twitter and just let them know, hey, I really enjoyed our conversation that we had the other day. It's also true that large game communities such as the Seattle Indies, of which I'm a part of, you'll end up having a lot of mutual friends, and it's all part of network building, so it's really not that weird. And then of course, if they deny your request in person for Facebook or Twitter, probably don't reach out at that point. But so remember here that the real point of networking is making friends. What you do and what you're after often comes up, but the meat of the conversation is what you yourself are interested in. This is often what you start the conversation about. And the magic of networking is that these new friends will in turn introduce you to other new friends. The thing, though, that I think many people fall through on is that oftentimes these people are treated differently than their personal friends that they make away from networking events. And that's the real key mistake here. Keep up with them, revel in their successes, and offer condolences for their failures or hard times. Really, just treat people like people. It's crazy to me how often people mess this part up. I do too. Friends give friends work, and friends are the first to recommend people. At the absolute bare minimum, do these steps online or in person when it's safe, and your network will grow exponentially. Some people will say that in networking for game music, you should primarily focus on indie devs. Others will say mostly focus on audio people, and to me, it doesn't really make a difference as long as you're doing it. I've gotten work from devs, I've gotten work from audio people. If I have to pick between one or the two, I'd say that I've gotten more work from audio people. But the argument for devs is that they're the ones giving the work, so you go out to meet them. The argument for audio people is the more successful ones will eventually have an excess of work and need to pass it off. That's a whole different conversation. But both of these work. Network with both, in my opinion, because you will find work come from both places. Now look, it's hard to come out of your shell, I get it. But really, in landing that first gig, it's a marathon. This is long-term networking. It comes down to getting lucky. But the thing is, you can't get lucky if you're not putting yourself in a position to get lucky. Fortune favors the prepared, so prepare yourself and get out there.